Get your day started right. From our shack to yours, this is Coffee and Ham Radios. We are live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, everybody. This is almost a cluster today. I had some problems with the PC, so I apologize if we're running a couple of minutes late.
Windows.
Today is Saturday, August 13th, right? And
yes.
For today's show, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the Coffee and Ham Radio's $1,000 Ham Shack Challenge. And it's very exciting. I'm going to go over the rules real quick so everybody knows what they were.
There's rules?
There were some rules.
We had rules?
Yeah. Ain't no rules in ham.
So, the first rule is you can't spend more than $1,000.
Before you do that, I'm right on there with you. But the reason we're going over these rules is because we would like for you to join us and making a video.
Exactly.
And, telling us what you think is the definition of $1,000 ham shack based on these rules. Go ahead.
And my kid is the best one.
Oh my God, he's
two,
lawyer Ape is ready.
Uh-oh.
Look at that.
That's what he was working on.
Yeah, so for the $1,000 Ham Shack Challenge, what we want to do, like Tio said, is that if you wanted to post below what your $1,000 Ham Shack would be, that would be awesome. It would help everybody learn and grow. The other one is if you make a video, let us know over at Toad's Discord, and is the friendliest group of hams aside of QRZ. And I have a link to that posted at the beginning of the chat, so you can come over there and find us. And when you post that video and let us know over there, we will add it to the playlist. So today at high noon central, each one of us is going to be dropping a video going over what our $1,000 Ham Shack is going to be.
High noon central.
And as Tio mentioned, we definitely would love to have everybody participate. Maybe if we ever do something like this again, if people play, then we'll take a more coordinated approach, or maybe we can schedule them back to back. After
We could do a Ham Shack Challenge premiere weekend or something.
Planning is hard, man. Planning is real hard.
So anyhow, the rules that we went over in painstaking detail. Rule number 1: if you spend more than $1,000, you lose. Right.
Out.
Done. Well, he says that after I already have my video.
Yeah,
done,
we didn't.
but,
No one said nothing about that.
He did.
I'm fine.
But it was,
I'm giving you change back, man. You know how tight
there's something called written language, and it was posted in our Discord about the rules. And so
that was late though.
you think these boys can read, Ape? Come on.
The next thing was
words.
You have to be able to buy everything new. So everything on your list, you have to
no used.
So on the 1,000 thing, Abe goes, "Oh, Chuck, you're done with your video? Oh, by the way,
no,
you can't go over 1,000."
He did. Truly did.
It's not called the 1,050. It's not called the 1,050.
That's right. My first one came up to 1,050 too.
It was funny because mine, I forgot some stuff.
Though.
I had to go back, and then the dang nabbit, you're making me finish.
Nabbit.
You're making me forget the last rule. So it was you got to buy everything new. You can't go over 1,000. Oh, you have to. You can use the list price. No taxes and shipping and coupons and discounts and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
No VAT, UK boys. Take that.
Yeah, and so that would be the that would be the rule.
Right.
Liberty asks HF and VHF. I almost did that.
It's
there was a way to do
shack.
that.
It's Ham
Shack Challenge.
Wait,
Yes.
so whatever you want,
Whatever
to
you
put
feel
together.
like.
I did do that, and I got you change.
Yeah,
And
and
then-
it's not a it's not a thing
doesn't
where
like something.
it's for new hams, experienced hams, old hams, lazy hams.
Pick your flavor.
Yeah, just
Don't
if you got
break the three
$1,000.
rules.
I kind of
break the
pointed
three
mine
rules.
towards a new ham, trying to get everything he could get and be ready to work.
All the things, Don.
All the things.
But
Has to
there's
work.
still some stuff left out.
Yeah,
But
I split
define
mine up in-
ham however you want.
Right.
I was gonna
I
talk about that.
Yeah. We also didn't say QRO or QRP.
Nope.
didn't matter.
So, right.
But there's a reason I did mention it.
I did too.
Because of that.
I did too. Yeah.
We don't
So
know
I
what
guess-
each other has done.
Here's where the Holy
just so
Wars
you guys
argument comes in. Is it an amateur radio license? Are you an amateur radio operator? Are you an amateur radio enthusiast? How do you define
Listener.
this? Are you a shortwave listener? Is that considered
Yeah.
ham? Morning, Joe Brett.
What's up,
Joe?
Joe?
K5YVY. Good morning, my friend.
Exactly
So,
4 or 5.
Next Saturday morning, me and Joe Brett will be waking up with headaches in Huntsville.
Oh.
Waking up in each other's arms. That sounds like a lot of fun.
No. Nope. Just
What?
with
That's
headaches.
what
He
that
said
means,
headaches.
right?
Headaches,
Yeah.
not anything else.
So yes, Don, you have to include the cost of wire antennas, and Don had something else in here that
Oh,
you
Don
gotta
said,
include-
yeah, power supply.
got
yeah.
got to include it all. So
No,
it's the ham
PC.
shack.
You don't need a PC for ham radio.
There'll never be a computer in my ham shack.
Computers are killing ham radio. So I actually
Yeah,
made a
that's right.
comment about that because if you're watching my video on YouTube about the $1,000 ham shack challenge, then you have an internet connection, you have a PC, and you have audio gear.
That's right. That's right.
So I've already included the fact that that exists in the challenge.
I didn't think of that, but I do. I agree with that now.
Don's getting
If
his
you're
own
seeing this, you
technicality.
got one.
Yep.
Cost of license must be included. No, because you
No,
can have
no.
a ham shack and be an unlicensed person.
That's right. You could just be listening with all your gear. That's right.
Phone counts. You could have T8 on a phone.
And
$9.99.
here we go. Lionel says that $1,000 is not going to go very far, and it
True that.
doesn't.
Oh
It
man,
does not go very far at all.
And it depends on where you're
in my
where you're
case,
willing
it
to make
does.
sacrifices. It depends on where you're willing to cut corners.
I
'Cause
made
there-
no sacrifices.
I gotta say,
I find that
did-
hard to believe. I'm gonna be
Watch
watching
my video.
yours.
Watch it.
I did two different builds, and the second one, you won't believe how far it goes.
So Chuck started dropping hints on his video, so I know what radio he has in his video. And the minute he said that little hint, I'm like, oh, I got to one up Chuck. So I took that radio out of my
Did you
list.
up Chuck?
Oh, that worked,
did.
huh? That
I
worked.
did.
I
Yeah.
knew T.O. would catch that.
Chuck with FUD. Yep. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
Well, what radio did I use?
You mentioned using the G90, but I don't know what you
Oh.
landed on. When you mentioned the G90, you started. Chuck's all sly over here. How many watts does the G90 put out?
No,
Mine is
I
not
asked.
a G90.
No, I asked.
Yeah, mine's 90.
I asked. Does it do? Did it have a sound card? Is what I asked
Yeah.
because I didn't know.
And I'm like, oh, he's dropping the hint. So G90 out of the shopping cart.
Oh,
Shooter-
Chuck is
Shooter saying
clickbaiting.
antenna
what's
analyzer
clickbaiting? I
and
don't know what
SWR
Lionel's
meter.
talking about.
not
If you're like
clickbait.
Chuck, you can actually smell the SWR by
Yeah,
sniffing the
That's
we
antenna.
right.
don't. Chuck
I
don't
don't
need
need
no
SWR
stinking
meter.
And by the way, Chuck does use a rig expert when he does. So
Well, I don't. You know what? I have to say I
not no
didn't
stinking
include. I didn't.
nano VNA.
I did not include an SWR meter because guess what? My radio, both the radios I picked, have them. So, and I
Oh,
trust
there
them.
you go.
There you go.
You don't need. I did a video where I adjusted antenna with the radio SWR.
And
and
if
he's got it.
if you build with a resonant antenna, right?
well,
If you
still-
run
why
your
would you do
coax
it
through
sooner?
salt water, you shouldn't have to.
Right?
You shouldn't need to check your
Exactly.
SWR.
If you
But
If you
build a
stand with your
resonant
feet in the
antenna-
ocean while you talk, it'll be
If you build a resonant antenna,
0.1. That's right.
you need a rig expert, and then you've blown your budget. So
you could use a ladder line antenna and not have to worry about SWR.
tuners are cheap, y'all.
Hey,
Right.
yeah, I'm looking at Lionel says I'm clickbaiting. Did my video pop up? I don't think so.
No, he's talking about you were clickbaiting the chat, trying to tell me you were using a G90, but
Oh.
secretly,
Chuck,
Chuck,
slyly,
nothing
you
of yours popped up, Chuck.
Man,
So-
I was like,
weren't. Not for years.
that's right.
Not for a long time.
Hey, did I show you my new box I bought?
No,
Show you guys that. Look at
Nice.
that
That's
bad boy.
nice. I do like those.
I'm gonna pick up the one from Harbor Freight and compare them. I think
That's not
Maybe
under
I'll do it.
$1,000.
right.
Oh,
The
that's not
Pelican
it. That's
box
not
is
it.
probably $9.99.
MTM
that
makes
was-
one also.
I think it was a little more than that. Okay.
So Plasma says a FANG, a USDR, USDX, and a mess of wires. The problem with the USDR and USDX is that we actually wanted radios that worked. Oh, right.
Yeah, I was trying to. My kits were basically.
Guess
I did go Chinese radio on one. I mean, T.O. caught me,
Howdy, Random.
but that's my second one.
Well, the G106
wasn't
came
my
out
main
last week. If you really want to have a good ham shack.
I can't believe anybody would buy that thing or do a review on it.
So what is that thing listing for? About 270? I mean 370?
No,
Which
no,
one?
350, 330,
Something like that, yeah.
It's way too expensive.
I mean, what's a G90 cost? 400, 440,
450.
450.
I thought they were
440.
more like 4. Are they?
RNL
Yeah, no
440.
used. No used. Yeah,
I think it-
Maybe that's
$399.
what I was. Okay.
RNL had it on sale.
They're expensive. For what you get, they're overpriced, I think.
A G90?
Which one?
No, the G106.
The 106.
Oh, yeah. The 106 is like, why would you do that?
A radio with no power, no filters, no features, no sound card,
doesn't
no
even
ability to
have
update
color,
the
right?
firmware.
No color screen. 17
Nope.
firmware updates from now. 6 months from now.
You can't
Maybe
update the
it'll work.
firmware. You can't
You
update
can't?
the firmware unless you buy the DE19 to be able to connect it to the computer, and that's $70.
So that's more.
Oh,
Oh, I see what you're
snap.
saying now. Yeah.
Oh, that's
So
crap.
the 5105 is a decent radio. I think that they caught lightning in the bottle with the G90, but I haven't been impressed with much else of what they've put out. Now, the thing about the 6100 is that you're buying a platform that has a little bit of a computer inside and runs Linux. That's different, right? That to me, that's a little bit different. If that's what you were
There's
into,
something there. It's still a little tiny bit off, but there is something exciting there. I agree.
if you want to like a Tinker box or something like that you're going to mess with and all that, then I can see buying that. But this latest one, I don't understand why they didn't take the time and effort into developing that and put it into the 6100 and G90.
If it had a built-in sound card, I'd be interested.
Christopher Colquhoun is trolling us. You're new and you're trolling, man. That's
Oh, no,
awesome.
he's been around. He's been around.
Has
for
he
a
been
while.
here? I didn't remember, but
He's
Didn't
old
say
school
open
FTL.
box. Okay,
No, open
I
box.
give him that. I give him
You
open
said
box.
no used.
Well, yeah,
So
said
you're
you
talking
have to
about
be able to
open
buy it
box, but
you know,
but
I've looked at Gigaparts open box stuff, and it's like $5 cheaper than.
yeah,
brand new.
they
Jim got a great deal from MTC.
yeah,
Yeah.
I did. I got the 7610 from them for like $500 off.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
And they must be selling those 101s, the regular 101s. They must be the upgraded ones because they're more than a 101 in their open box and use. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
I haven't looked. What are they selling them for? Because a 101D is about the same as a 7610. 32,
Yeah, it's
33,
it's
somewhere in there.
$100 cheaper.
More
Usually.
radio than I know how to use.
Maybe they put a color screen in it or something.
Does the 101?
Well,
come
no, it
with a hernia
has.
belt?
There's
So
extra
you have to
filters
move
you
that
can
menu?
order. What's that? Say that again.
I said, did the 101 come with a hernia belt in case you have to move the menu?
Right.
Right. Yeah. I think so. I think I got a hernia the other day.
So Chuck, you made an awesome video yesterday repairing a 991A, and in that video you had the 705 sitting on top of the 991A. I didn't realize they were the same width.
Almost. They're an inch difference,
Almost.
I think.
Yeah.
No, that was always my complaint of the 705. It's huge for a QRP radio. I mean, I was used to a KX2, which is
No, we don't
looking at
include
the-
tax and shipping.
My-
That is a
my KX
specific rule, Don.
my KX2 and all my gear will fit inside the 705. I proved it. I didn't do it on a video, but I proved it.
Well, there's still time, Chuck.
I know I should still do that video. I think I threw that
Chuck.
box away.
Here we go. The portable shack. It can be portable or
Yep.
whatever you can do for $1,000.
Yeah, mine does both.
You know,
mine does both.
mine was both also. You almost
I can't wait to
everything.
watch y'all's videos. I want to see how
has
much
to
y'all
be.
skirted the letter of the rules.
Well, I just wonder how we're going to keep this show going for another hour and 15 minutes without saying what's in our gear box.
Well, so what I was going to say is
I
that-
kind
I
of
was
did, but I
thinking
kind
that
of
too.
didn't.
Yeah.
what I was going to say is that is there any philosophy that you use when you're putting your shack together? Was there any theme or anything that you
yeah.
wanted to?
Oh, for sure.
Mine was QRO.
So
Straight
you
up.
wanted a QR HF station is like what I'm
HF.
thinking.
I didn't even
Yeah.
fool with VHF and UHF. I wanted full power, and that's how I went.
I kept mine
And-
in line with the spirit of my channel. So if you know what my channel's about, then you know what my
So they had to
Shopping
compile their own firmware
on a
and-
6100.
and solder
to
the
do-
amplifier back together after they smoked it.
His
Okay.
had to
Why
be
should I
easy to
should
do
include an
FT8,
amplifier.
I'm sure.
I might actually have enough room in the budget for an amplifier.
Get out of town.
Well, from QRP to Barefoot.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't seen too many cheap. Well, there was that amp the other day that was
Shocked
like
you'd say
what,
that.
$250 or $350. What was
Oh,
it?
there was
Yeah.
one in Builders Club for 77.
Really?
Yeah.
$77.
$77 built.
Built.
Yeah.
Might
check
or
that- I
might
have to
not
check
start
that
the
out.
house on fire. Ape, what about you? You're strangely reticent this morning, which is unusual for you.
For mine, what I wanted to do is that you want to have a ham shack that will hold somebody's interest and give them opportunity to grow. I think is what I was the target I was going after. But when you do that, and you have $1,000. That $1,000 doesn't go very far, and you start slicing it pretty thin. I did want to have some premium equipment in there. Like I wanted to have stuff in there that if you buy this, you can use it 15 years from now, and it's still going to function great and work for you. That was one of the things, and I got to tell you, one of the challenges was cables, like the cable costs and any connectors or adapters and stuff like that. So, I mean, I came right in. I was constantly going back and forth with the $1,000. I would go over a little bit, and I'd have to alter a piece of equipment to something else, and it was tough. It was definitely a hard thing to do.
Both of my I did two different kits, and they both use an antenna that's the same, right? And I didn't have to do a whole lot of adapters or anything like that. So I didn't add stuff like that to it, but
Yep, digital modes done.
but I didn't.
And
I
more
also,
than FT8.
And you guys know me. I'm not a FTA guy, so digital was not important to me. I know that's going to be TO's thing.
Any FSK mode.
I think
Not
the
just FT8.
the interesting thing
right.
about doing this is when you're trying to set up $1,000 challenge, $1,000 is a tight budget for a full station.
Well,
Yeah.
go stick a 7300 in your card. You're done.
Right. You're you're
You
done and
lost.
you owe the
You
store some
lost.
money because you done stole it. That's right.
I was even
Well-
trying. I clipped a coupon in mine too.
Oh man, no. you
okay.
can't
I
do
thought
that.
we said no codes. He said no codes. I
No
said
He said
codes.
no code. He said no shipping.
no. He
used.
said no discount codes. He did say no
I said no
discount.
coupons
He
or discount
did.
codes.
He
Okay.
did. You lose.
Okay. Well, I'm still under budget. I'll put the
Ban.
$5 back in. I'll still win.
Man,
So speaking of winning, what is winning?
I guess you get to talk mess.
That's
Well, I'm
right.
not doing that.
I
So.
mean, that's-
You're pre-gaming.
I
mean,
have an amateur radio license. I'm allowed to talk mess. It's part of the
That's
ticket.
all we do. You know,
So-
I think when you're doing this though, but you got to decide: if you're serious about keeping under $1,000, you're going to have to make some compromises, and you just have to decide where your compromises are going to be. Because I don't know what kind of magic tea. I mean, maybe it's Wisconsin. Maybe there's some mushrooms involved. I'm not sure, but I just don't know how you can get full power HF and digital for $1,000.
And,
my gosh.
and I
Pay
also have
attention,
VHF
son.
and UHF.
Oh my! It's 3 mushrooms apparently. A lot
I've got
of
I've got UHF and VHF.
I need to change mine. I had a Bowfang to one of mine.
Well, I can tell you right now, I must be
Bowfangs.
losing this challenge because son, ain't none of that.
I should
well-
toss a Bowfang in. I'd still have change.
But I don't have no fangs in mine.
I've
So
got
as far-
3 transceivers. In
Do you?
yeah,
Nice.
So as far as I could find, there was only one base radio that you could actually use, because there was another one that used to be there that was cheaper, but I couldn't find it anywhere for sale. So,
No used.
and no used, yeah.
Well, I'm answering Randy's comment.
look at Chuck is. I mean, to me, that's what we wanted to do is not have 4 videos of the G90 in it. We never really agreed to that, but
Right.
Makes sense.
because that's the go-to. You get a tremendous amount of value. You get a pretty decent, nice radio with built-in tuner and nice display.
And T.O. already knew I had it, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that might be the compromise
did
you
I?
decide. You can if you go with the
Or did I?
G90, which like Abe said was lightning in a bottle when they came out with that thing. That's a
Yeah,
lot of
very-
value in that radio. I like that phrase, by the way, Abe. I'm going to steal that. But
Lightning
You
in a
know-
bottle.
lightning in a bottle. I'm like, my friend Abe said that. That's awesome.
I have to say one thing that Zygu has actually cornered there is
Hey,
that,
Larry.
is that G90, because nobody else. I mean, Yaesu, ICOM, Kenwood will go. What's the other? What's the? Well, there's another company actually. Nobody has come out with like a 20 to 50 watt radio
Right.
to sit and make it under $500 or at $500.
Well, there's that. What was that? SBitX.
Yep.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's some, and that one is right at $499.99.
Yeah, but isn't it only like 5 or 10 watts though?
I think it's
Ubitix,
20
yeah.
watts.
Ubitix? Well, maybe the new one.
No, the
I thought
S,
it was-
the S,
I thought it was
the
10.
SBitX.
I thought it was only 5. The one I have is only 5. I got one
Well,
up
you
there,
you might
so
have the
it's right there, that
Ubitx or
white
the
one right there.
which is the micro BitX, right? And then there's the
That's a Ubitix
40.
right there.
Yeah. The SBitX uses a Raspberry Pi as its innards, and it uses a Raspberry Pi 7-inch display.
There it is. No
that the-
coupons.
Is that the right rule? Right set of rules?
No use, no coupons, no shipping or taxes. Yep.
We will let you people slide with the open box, apparently, because some of you have already worked around the rules.
I think open box is workable.
Open box is
Yeah,
okay
you
because
just-
it's returned to
not-
refurb for sale. Yeah.
But it's not repeatable. Maybe that's the only bad thing.
That's the hard part. That's the spirit of the contest, is why we said no used, because I can't guarantee I can get. Chuck and I found an FT818 brand new Yaesu authorized
man, I
distributor,
almost bought that.
$150. I don't agree with it.
And then when Jim saw Sri Lanka, where was it from?
Sri
It was
Lanka.
it was Sri Lanka, and the guy had
I'm
a
like,
feedback The guy had a feedback
15.
of like 5 or something, 15, whatever. And I'm like, oh no.
90,
I'm
it was 93 though, but there was only 5. Yeah,
like, no, I wouldn't buy nothing from this.
there's
guy.
no way he could sell that radio for that. But I actually tell you the truth, I like that little radio. Oh, that's a picture. Where'd you guys get
Yeah.
that picture from? That was
Oh,
mine. Huh?
I got this really good friend that took one. He's got a nice camera.
Yeah, there's some good pictures in that video, Chuck, that you did the Grand Canyon one.
Oh man, some of those were just my iPhone too. I was like about 2 or 3 minutes late. Adam went out like at sunrise to take pictures, and that's the best time, right when the sun's coming up and stuff. Your best light. And I just about said, "Hey, would you wait for a second?" Because he was about ready to leave, and I just I rolled over and didn't go back to sleep, but I didn't get up. But I still got
Morning,
some
Larry.
good pictures. Some of those pictures, the clouds were just. I mean, clouds. I like clouds in my pictures sometimes. It gets that little pop.
I mean, you always want it to pop.
That's right. And I was watching
nimbus.
Camera Conspiracy today, and he's talking about 3D and what cameras can do 3D. It's hard to say. It's hard to see. Yeah, I was like Ape also. I tried to do mine. In fact, I mentioned it on one of mine where what you have here is a great base, and once you add to it later as you move on in your ham radio experiences and stuff and find out what you want to do, it's all still usable. I mean, I still use the stuff that I got when I first started.
Glenn, that has to be U.S. dollars, because if that was Aussie dollars, it'd have to be like a $27,000 challenge or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what the exchange rate is. It's weird. U.S. dollars, buddy.
Everything, Randy, except for tools. So screwdrivers, hammers, soldering irons. We're assuming that you have that, but
Oh,
it's you have
whoa! Now you guys owe me like $500 because I bought a whole bunch of tools.
Nah, I mean, but you still got time.
I
still
could have
got
done that too, but I went a different route. I went. Well, I don't want to say too much because
No
What is it called?
loonies.
Yankee Buckaroos.
Yeah, no
Yankee
dollaroos.
Dollar
And
reviews.
if there's anyone in here from Canada, no loony bears or whatever those are called.
I think that helps Canada, right? Actually, it helps both of them, right?
Don, just drive over to Jason's and make it at his place. Then he
Hey,
live
Larry.
then it would be
You
free.
can't afford it because you spend it on all them dang radios, Don.
That's
by-
right.
He's on ham sticks. He spent it on ham sticks.
Now,
Don
I
with
almost
a complete hamstick collection.
after I finished Ape and Don almost had me change what I was doing, or almost did another one, and I know Ape can figure out what that radio would have been.
Canadian pesos.
It's because it is
Canadian
one of Don's favorite radios, the old Hermes
Oh,
Light.
Plasma, you
Yeah,
are
the
just
Hermes.
trying to get him started, aren't you, son? Stop it. Just stop it.
Well, let me ask you a question. I didn't want to go with
get it
anything
cheaper
like a
than that.
Microbit X or any of these kits that you can buy and
That's your own fault.
and put it together. That said, I do have kits in my. I think the Microbit X is
Arsenal.
probably not exact. It's a little bit more than a kit, right? It's I've called it a development environment. But I do have a kit in my setup.
I went at this with the operation, or with the thought in mind that this operation is to get on the air, not to listen. So I didn't even consider SDRs and stuff like that. And
That's
I
why I
also,
was saying you have to define ham.
I suppose, yeah.
Because is ham an operator or is
I don't
ham
know.
a
We
kit
can't. One of the
builder?
Supreme Court justices can't figure out what a woman is, so I think ham is just way too complicated.
Oh boy.
Sorry. She said
Well,
it.
that's just truth. I mean, that's not
That is-
Jim's opinion. That's
That's
just
not an opinion. That is a fact.
Jim repeating somebody else's opinion.
Must be able to operate, so we're putting that in there, huh?
Well, he must
Well, I
be
mean,
able to
that's-
get on the air.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
it
how I
must-
went at
the-
it. It wasn't
The radio must be able to. Not you
because,
don't
like,
have to be able to.
like Plasma said, you could get a
How you
dongle,
for $15.
the crap top and a piece of wire and be in business.
We'll just get a laptop and a web SDR account.
Raspberry Pi, man.
I'm actually thinking. I saw that video that Don popped the other day. I might buy a Hermes just for the heck of it. I heard the guy that. Did you guys watch the video on the guy that compared that with the 7300, and then he was looking at a FTDX10 to eventually look into also, and he liked it better than the. It did a lot of stuff better than the 7300 for some reason. But I mean, very very similar rate, very similar
command
though,
model.
right? Abe,
I
you,
felt
you've
that
actually
the-
used it.
Yeah, I felt that the Hermes Light was maybe the best sounding radio I've used in my shack. It was
it's-
pretty dang on nice.
Was
Now,
it
maybe that was I was
350
whipped up
bucks?
in it. What's that?
$350 or something.
Yeah, I actually bought it off of Sideboom. So I don't remember. I actually don't remember at all what I paid for it. We worked out some kind of deal. That's how I am
that's,
with everything. I was like, I'll trade you 2 of these and 1 of those and some cash. And
But it's a QRP radio though, right? I mean, it's what, 10 watts? I don't know
5.
what it is. It's
5
5 watts. So
that
I
was
mean,
the
it
question.
is-
What is the power on a President Lincoln? Because this is actually a fairly clever solution as well. You're only on one band. We didn't say multi-band.
No, you didn't.
So a 10-meter rig
I mean,
with a
VHF,
couple of ham
UHF.
sticks.
Bofang, you're done. $25.
well,
Well,
there
that's
is
true.
some
Do
rules
we-
are posted on Toads. Do we want to create a sub chat on Toads?
Sure.
Yes.
All right, that's what we'll do. We'll create a sub chat on Toads that has
you
everything
say,
in there, and then
President
you
Lincoln
can put
too?
pictures. What I think is the coolest about it is that everybody's got these like little unique knickknacks and corner cutters and stuff like that they put in
Right.
their shack.
It's awesome.
And for me, it's really a good opportunity to get other people's opinions. Like, 'cause, you know, I don't know about y'all, but I don't get a lot of time to go into other people's ham shacks and see what they have set up and all that. And so to be able to, you know, share those.
Well, the
ideas
last time you were in here, stuff went missing. So I'm.
well,
you
to
ain't
go
coming
missing
back.
next time too. I got them. I got
35
sticky
watt.
hands.
Light-fingered Louis over there.
I think if you had bigger pockets, man, that 7610 would be gone.
I thought you were skinnier when you came in this house. How'd you gain so much weight?
My cargo pants was filled up.
Baby, where my 7610 at?
But it's cool to be able to get other people's. Oh, I use this device to do X, Y, or Z. So that's
Yeah.
pretty cool as well.
Everybody has their own ideas of what radio is and the best way to get there. I mean, you guys like icons. I mean,
Here we go. Need a third party to
I
create
hate to look down
challenges to
on you
see
on
who
that, but-
Shack provides the best functional covers. Yeah, definitely.
I tell you what, I don't want to. We'll talk about that. We should talk about it later because I got one really good surprise in there. Probably the opposite of what T.O. did to get my price up on one of my kids.
Well, does anybody have anything else they wanted to share about their thought process of putting
Are we agreed that these are the official done rules here?
Let's take a look at them real quick.
T.O., I'm
Let's
creating a
look at-
channel.
Let's look at them rules.
I already did.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll stop.
You can't outspeed me, son.
What do you
You
think?
you can't bust 1,000.
I did out-tweet you the other day, though. Just saying.
And I will say that one of my kids came to exactly 1,000, but I rounded up on everything but one piece, and it was like 5 cents there, 5 cents there. So I was actually a little below 1,000.
Here we go. The $10,000 Shack challenge. That would be awesome.
Oh yeah. Now you're
I
talking.
know how to do that one.
I would.
I think the first thing is a tower.
A tower.
Doesn't
You got to
fit my
have a
use
tower.
case.
I
Mine
want
would
to
include
tilt
a car.
over, crank up. I had a crank up tower for a while.
Right.
and
I
got
bought
rid of it.
a Yugo and I put a I put a T 8000 in it.
Well, I wouldn't need a power supply, right?
You remember those Yugos when they used to have the 2-for-1? Like you think you get 2 Yugos for the price of a regular car. Do you remember?
I
Those
won
commercials?
one.
You buy a
I
Chevy
won one
Tahoe
from a
and get
local
2
radio
Yugos.
station.
You did?
Yes, I did.
Did you drive it?
No, sir. No, I sold it right. I didn't even get in it. I never touched it. I went to the dealer and said, "Listen here, son. I don't want that."
You had to pay
Is that all?
taxes on it, probably though, right?
Yeah, they took out taxes. The
Or
dealer,
they didn't sell.
you're right. The dealer gave me. It was listed for $39.95. The dealer gave me $2,600, and I never touched the car, sat in it, or anything else.
$2,600.
You're afraid you'd
I'm
like
like,
it.
deuces. That was like
afraid-
86 or 87. No, I had 3 kids and an ex-wife.
You knew
Well, she
you were
wasn't
going
my
to like
ex-wife
it, so
at
you
the
didn't
time.
sit in it. Yeah, I know.
There was no. I would have had to strap kids on. That's right. I'd have had to strap kids on the roof. It had a 1.1 liter engine.
Tower 7610. I think I would go Tower 101, the MP model, and then find an amp that would actually take 200 watts too.
Yagi
Not that you
stack.
need it.
Yeah, I'd spend 9,000 on the antenna and then 1,000 on everything.
You get a G90.
A G90. Oh. Shh, 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 shh.
I agree with Nick.
What did Nick say?
He's saying
say?
that open box is a
agree.
cop out. If that's the corner that you need to cut to win, feel free. But can everybody
Well,
look in the mirror after open box?
I
and
think
an
the
open
open
We will
box should
all
not be
shame you,
allowed.
Yeah.
I don't think
You
it
might
should
be open
allowed
box
because
shamed, but
you can't
can-
duplicate it.
yeah,
Did
Chuck
any of the
is.
four of us do open box? I did
No,
not.
I
All right,
didn't.
We'll take it back.
Take it out of there. No open
I
box.
did. I did brand new.
You
NIB.
can't. You have to be able to replicate it within reason, right?
Right.
Prices will vary. I mean, next week To will be he's 500 short. Next week he'll be 300 over.
And I think Don said something about this a minute ago, and it scrolled on by. R&L, I think, will charge shipping depending on the value. MTC Radio does not charge shipping when you buy stuff like radios.
What
Because
about
they ship
insurance?
us.
Nobody
What about
charges on
insurance
radios.
on the shipping?
They insure it.
Nobody.
That's
charges
where I
on
got my
radios.
7610. So, and that thing weighs, that beast is probably 20 pounds.
You're talking used though.
I'm just saying they don't charge. Well, they don't charge tax or shipping, Chuck. Period.
Okay.
I just
Nobody
happen to
charges
buy
shipping
used.
on a radio. Nobody charges shipping on a radio.
Well, Don said they did,
New.
so I don't know.
They
I
do,
know,
but most people have free
Who?
shipping over $99. So if you
Yeah.
like, so if you
you
if you
can't
go
buy a
to-
radio.
well, you're
You show
talking
me a
about
radio
an
for
HF
$99.
radio. Like you get
Well,
you get
yeah.
3 bow
Okay.
fangs for less than $99.
Right.
Yeah.
And
That's
the
why-
fancy bow fangs with like
The
colored
$100
screens.
$100
Yeah.
shack challenge.
Like Steve's
That's-
got with the orange and the yellow fangs.
Oh, nice.
That's like buying a radio used from somebody that has to ship it to you. Is like, unless you're getting a great price, the shipping's going to kill you, right?
Right, right. Well, so
And
I
no
had
warranty.
to when I
Yes,
bought
it will.
that. I bought an antenna, the GP1, and it was like $75 plus taxes and all that, and it came to right around $90. And it's like if you spend $9 more, you get free shipping. So I spent another $150.
Yeah,
That seems perfectly,
I've done that
perfectly
too.
legitimate.
But I always buy something that I was needing or wanted anyhow. So
Let's see. If I can
can't
fix
break 1K. Look at that.
it. There you go.
Oh, pop. Poof.
Got a little logo action on there. It's
Oh,
looking
look at it
good.
go.
Son, you're going to be making slides for me from now on. That's awesome. Wow.
Here we go. What is this
You
B
can see all the
stock?
talent.
What does this mean? What about B stock gear?
That's open box or
think it's open
manufacturer blemishes, stuff like that.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
if you can look at yourself in the mirror, whatever.
If you feel that you didn't cheat,
It's like Parks on the Air. We'll just take your word for it. As a
we
hand.
won't make you fun. We won't make fun of you if you do it
Much.
much.
I will.
Don.
I'm not sure what B stock is either. That might be what
It's
my
it's refurbs, Chuck.
705 was. Yeah.
It's a refurb. Yeah.
so what do we got here? Gary's got R&L FT 891 plus power supply 700 free shipping tuner. Add a DXE doublet kit for 75. That leaves $60 for ropes and mics. But I don't see coax in there.
You ain't got no coax, son. Mm-mm.
See, that's where I'm. Oh no, he does.
Where?
You don't need it. The doublet kit comes
Well, he
with
needs
it.
the adapter then, just to be pedantic.
Well, you
he's-
need a piece of coax to go between your 891 and your tuner.
Yeah,
at least
jumpers.
where I grew up, you do. I
That
don't know.
antenna is not in your house connected to the back of your radio. You got to get coax outside away from your wife to it.
Oh well, you don't need much.
Where?
Well, I mean, if you
I run
cut
that
the wife
antenna.
out, then $1,000 budget isn't the limit anymore.
I run that
It's not
antenna.
really a budget. That's right.
Right.
That's my antenna for the lower bands, and I got
How much
that
can
from
your
Gary.
credit card stand?
Gary's the one that showed me that one.
Gary, that seems like a fairly legitimate setup.
Oh, you need
I'm trying to figure out where you got that power supply from, but
I got to tell you, man, power supplies have gone up in price. That was probably the most shocking thing for me.
yeah,
That's-
I was shocked.
That was someplace I might have skimped a little bit, and it's not really skimping, but people are going to give me crap about it. That's all.
I
Skimping ain't
skimped.
easy,
No,
Chuck.
I'm not judging you, Chuck, because I skimped too. I was like, well, it's got
But
the
I
amps.
but
who
I
cares?
own the one I suggest. I own, and I know it works, and I know it's quiet. And I said
I'm
that,
gonna
but
I'm gonna say
nobody's
this
gonna
is not
believe it.
not really a rule, but it's like I'm not judging on the quality of any of this, right? Like the power supply is not the one I picked. Ain't high endy, okay? It's not.
Well, I'm
No,
going
it's
to
not
put something
Nick.
in the comments.
No, it ain't, Nick.
Well, you could run it on a battery, right? Technically,
Yes, you absolutely could. Mm-hmm.
I thought about that too. But then, did I have to add a charger for the battery?
Well,
No,
yeah.
because the battery comes with a
What-
charger.
some do,
Some
don't.
do. Yeah.
The Addies and the Bioenos don't come with chargers unless you.
Did your
add them
Chin's
in.
battery come with a charger?
Negative.
Well, there you go.
But I might
So
have
then-
already had the charger before I did the challenge.
Oh, I got like 10 chargers, man.
I mean, if
What
we
if I
want
had
to,
7,300 before I did the challenge?
right? See, you see what I'm saying?
These boys can't be trusted.
Lon, yeah,
the-
a pyramid. Those are kind of.
Oh.
Is that a good one or is that a cheap one? I can't remember. I think that's
The
a
what?
cheap one.
Oh, pyramids. Those have
Pyramids.
been around forever.
I mean, as long as the electrics come out
think
of
they're
it and
decent.
stay coming out of it, I don't care what
Electrics.
brand name is on it. That's right. The electrics.
Pyramid, that goes back into my CB days. That's, I learned about pyramid power supplies, and a lot of people don't like switching power supplies, and I've never had a problem with one. Other than
That's what
one
I'm using.
died. One
Switchings are
died.
way cheaper. Some
FT8
people say they
died
make
one for me.
noise, and depending on how it's set up inside, it may or may not make noise. And there's actually a fix for that.
I don't mind sharing a little bit here, so I'm going to quickly do this. So this is the power supply that I picked.
Oh, I'm judging.
I'm
Wow.
not going to give away my whole shack. And I have this power supply. It's actually sitting right over there. I'm giving it to a buddy of mine who's getting in the ham radio. I know that I didn't pay $174.99. Damn, did you hear that? I know I didn't pay
Puberty.
$174.99. Yeah.
Figure out what his special purpose is for.
It
Yeah.
looks like he's in his 50s, but he's only 13.
Right. I've had a hard life.
So that's a. Where did you find that at?
This is probably on MFJ's website, but
I have
it's
to
the
say-
same price. That's the MSRP, so you'll see it's the same at Gigaparts and,
I have
and
to say that's
HRO and all
3 or
that.
4 times what I paid for my power supply, I think.
Yeah, but this is a good one.
This
And,
one won't
The
catch
one,
his
the
house
one I
on
got's a
fire, is
good
that-
one, tell you the truth. But
Well,
just
we'll
people
see.
are going to give me, they're
Hey,
going
that
to
one
give me
measures.
crap.
This one measures A and V.
So
I
you-
think that's the
Yeah.
same one I have. I can't remember what I've got back here.
So I used that one for a long time until MFJ actually sent me some other power supplies, and that's why I stopped using this one. But I really never had any problems with this. Sometimes the fan would be a little
Call them
loud.
up, Fred.
So
You
I
just
would
put it behind the desk,
I would
behind
just
a
tap
box
it a
or
little
something,
bit on the
right?
side, and then it
Oh,
would
that
quiet
guy.
down.
Yeah.
Chuck Schultz, it's probably about a wash if you include the cost of a charger
Right.
with your battery, and you're going to get something like a 20 amp hour battery, which would be reasonable, and a charger. You're looking at the same price as a power supply, just about.
I just
So, yeah.
remembered I need to add some stuff to mine.
But this
What's up,
power supply
Patrick?
should be about $110, $115, $120.
When I bought mine, it wasn't. I've got the same power supply. I was thinking it was like 125. Yeah.
I was surprised. I was like, well, maybe I'll look at a different power supply, but they were all around 175, except for the one Chuck got.
Boys, this is fun and all, but I think we need to interrupt the show. I feel like giving something away.
Oh,
Do it.
let's do it. Let's do it. While he's showing a winder,
What
let
is
me
that?
let
A
me
winder?
while y'all are doing the winder thing, we have one Mercury in stock right
The
now.
barefootguys.com.
And it could be yours at thebarefootguys.com. And you want this antenna because it is designed by the Chuck and the Ape.
Go ahead and check now, Don. It's not 109, I bet.
Yeah, Don, we're not talking about 1985 prices here. 2022 prices, Don.
So you got to put winder in the chat as the phrase that pays. All
Do it.
lowercase.
Days.
All
So-
lowercase, no fancy spelling.
Right. Winder is what you want to put in there.
Kurt, the O is silent in winder.
Whip it.
I'm just saying.
Oh man, my power supply changed.
Xmas
Now it's
Mommy,
See
lowercase
buy
W.
all options.
And I don't know who you are, but hi, welcome to the show. I see a lot of new faces in here this morning.
Awesome.
So
So,
welcome,
Abe.
everybody.
Colt 45. Look at this.
$69
I'm assuming
for
that
my
is
wife for mine.
is the malt liquor, not the pew pew.
Maybe it's
Call
both.
45 and 2 zigzags.
And I saw somebody else. Forget your life, lowercase W. Raphael, you're just trolling now, Raphael.
Yeah, Rick, you gotta go with a lowercase. There you go.
Raphael's still trolling.
That's
So he
fine.
put in
Troll
a
away.
capital W and a capital D.
I fixed
And
it.
2 words also.
Pew pew.
Oh, Colt 45.
45
9 millimeters
long
better.
Colt.
Just saying. Sorry. 10 millimeters even better.
So while you're doing that,
Another
I'll tell a
hard
little bit of a story. I'm going to need Don's help here. Our friend Rolly, who is down, I want to say Auckland, New Zealand.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like Rolly. is my understanding that he's got DXCC on all bands 5 times.
Nice.
Good Lord.
Heck of a DX
Operator.
petitioner.
I was
Like he's
gonna
got
say, he did
stories
kinda
about the
cheat.
boat sinking in the I don't know, what is it, the Australian Sea? I don't even know what it's called down there.
The Indian
water.
Ocean.
Is
The
it
ocean.
what's only the Indian Ocean on one side, Pacific on the other, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Sure.
So he's got all these crazy stories, and he is doing a fundraiser to put a ham shack. That's probably going to be more than $1,000 in New Guinea. It looks like papaya to me, but how do you say
Papua.
Papua?
That's how I say it. I'm not saying I'm right. That's just how I say it. Papua New Guinea.
Papua. So let me go ahead and get a link for that real quick.
It's got a long U sound.
But Don was asking if we could mention it on the show today, and I don't see why we couldn't. Let me see if I can find it. And I guess he's using something called Go Get Funding. I guess that's the Australian GoFundMe.
The knockoff, the off-brand GoFundMe. Yeah.
It's like the one you
It
get
only,
at the,
only works in Dollaroos.
where
How many
you,
do
the
we
one you
need to
get
hit
at
this
Big
draw
Lots.
button?
Big.
How many do we need to hit this draw button?
Oh, how many? We
It's your
got in
giveaway to you.
We got 71 watching, 51 entries.
Let's get to 60. Come on, type Winder. Winder.
Papia.
51. Come on.
It says he's got $80 donated so far, but I don't know if that's American bucks.
Dollar dues. All right, draw.
Do it.
Nope,
Just
we
do
got
it.
one more. There it is. Nope, David's a repeat. Repeat offender.
Nope.
Who is it?
It's great having a
Colt
kid that knows how to get
Don
coffee.
Burn, W5IPA, Don again. Keith, WW5G. Coffee and
Congrats,
Hamburgers
Keith.
Winder coming your way. Tell me about your address. You
Or
can
you
send
get
it to me
onto
on
Zed.
Discord, or you can tell me that you're good on QRZ, or you can.
Oh, I'm up. So this is the ham radio for Papua, New
I think
Guinea.
it's Papua. I don't know.
Papua. And there's a
Papua?
video here that you can play. It talks a little bit about what he's trying to do. And you should check out Rolly's channel. He's got like all these like vintage videos from like I don't know, 70s,
Right,
80s,
Keith, I got you. Good on
where he went to all these different islands to do de-expeditions. And I was looking at this, like, look how much he cleans up. Rolly looked pretty good in that picture. He normally doesn't look like that.
Respectable.
Did you post a link in the chat, Ape?
I will, but this is like he's almost looks like he's going to court. And then look at that. I didn't know Don was already in here.
Because I was going to post that in the ticker for us.
I will post it in the chat so you can post it in the ticker.
Or you could, either way.
Papua.
Or you're saying I should post it in the ticker?
Papua.
No, I was going to put it on the
Papua.
scroller one that I had that said
Papua.
subscribe to FEP Labs Radio. By the way, as of this morning, 44 to go to hit 1,000.
There we
Nice.
go. Free James.
So if y'all are not subscribed to
Shots.
FEP Labs, please subscribe. It will
You
make
can
you
tell he's
happy.
multitasking. He's slowing down.
Well, that's a banner.
Taxing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do, was the banner.
Okay. Like that.
Yeah.
That's the best. That's the best we can do. This is what we're working with, Jim.
I would have.
Can't
going
get there
through
with
this-
this equipment.
I'm going through. There we go. It's
Why
not
don't
scrolling.
you smallify the link? I mean, it's an internet. Oh, network. That's right. Never mind.
Hey, look, man, I just cut and paste. That's what you said. You said, can you cut and paste that and put it in there while I
Chuck,
read
Daddy
my
and Daddy are
sci-fi
fighting
novel?
again.
I know. Again.
It's
So
like
that's-
playing cards with my brother's kids.
So anyhow, go help Rolly out. He's a great guy.
Rolly is super nice, and he is a heck of an operator.
He is kind of cheating though, going on a DXpedition to get his DXCC 5 band.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like
It's
bringing
he's-
sand to the beach.
What's next? FT8.
Right.
Sand to the beach. Come on.
Some of these guys that do this stuff are a little crazy. You know what I mean? Where they get like on these shipping containers and go to these goofy islands.
The guy on the chair. The island
Yeah,
was big enough to hold 2 legs of the 4-legged chair.
Right.
It counts.
I mean,
I'm
I think
jealous.
it's kind of a cool idea. I would never spend the money on it, just to go somewhere like.
Montesano.
No, that's just up the road for me. But well, who is it? Who is it that
It's
goes
his-
to
it's
Costa
your
Rica all the time?
L-Expedition.
Is that Jason 2.0
Yeah.
goes to
Yeah.
Costa
Yeah.
Rica on a DXpedition?
It's your L expedition.
Yeah, I'm just going a 300-mile expedition.
Well, I mean, Costa Rica is it's cool, but I mean, it's not like an island in the South Pacific, right? I mean,
No,
right.
It's a little different.
yeah.
Right now, if I want an all expenses paid vacation to New Guinea or something to talk on the radio, I'd probably go. But you know, and then shipping your stuff, or are you going and there's like already a shack there that you have a club that has paid for it or something? I don't know how any of that works.
Rolly took all his stuff with him, didn't he? He said he lost a bunch of it when the boat
He
sank.
did. The boat sank, took an Icom with him, and then he was able to get it working again after he thoroughly dried it out and cleaned all the salt off of it and everything.
Oh my lord!
Can you imagine?
Oh, I'd be
That's-
upset.
Yeah, I'd be honked.
So also he got trapped on the island too. I mean, no boat was a big deal. So they had to rescue him. He made the local newspaper.
Like Gilligan, it was going to be a TV show they were going to create called
Just a
Rolly's,
3-hour
Rolly's
tour.
Island.
Rolly's Island.
We did
Gary,
a,
thank you.
We did a Ham Nuggets episode for the old format of Ham Nuggets with Rolly, and he told us all about the story. So if you're interested in his DXpedition story and the sinking boat and everything, go back on my channel and he's there.
You
So,
have a lot of interviews with a lot of ham people on there. The old format.
Yeah.
Was that? Did you interview Ape back when he was just a smoking chimp?
He was number one.
Yeah.
That's right.
I thought that was right. I watched it. It's been a while.
Here we go. Toad's GoFundMe to activate Las Vegas.
Elsie, I like the way you're thinking.
I don't know about Las Vegas though. I don't know if I like it that much, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but you couldn't make the contact out of Las Vegas because then the story would be getting out.
I was in Las Vegas and I took a Baofeng with me and I was playing around with it in my hotel room. And there was something out there they were calling the Western Reflector. I never looked it up. I should have. But it was like all of these linked repeater systems across the country. I mean, it was crazy. I was talking to a ton of people. They had some kind of afternoon net. Like 200 people checked in.
Rolly's Island. They'll be using a coconut, and someone has to pedal to make the radio work.
Something like that, anyway. Well, they're saying that Gilligan's Island depicted some of the folks as cannibalistic headhunters, and that wasn't fair. So they're talking about canceling Gilligan's
See,
Island.
that was back when you could tell a joke and people actually laughed.
Would laugh
Laughed at
about
it
it, right.
instead of got
Yeah.
butthurt.
And understood it was a joke.
Right.
That may be true, Fred. I don't.
I mean, how dare you assume that those cannibalistic headhunters are normal people? They're special.
So what else you guys got in your that you can't say exactly what equipment is, but what else you got in your
Well, I told you I got tools, I got power, I got 2 meter, 70 centimeter HF bands, I got digital modes.
I can tell you I'm already embarrassed because mine is not nearly that complicated.
I wonder how much overlap we have, Tio, because I mean I've got all that.
I got an antenna.
Multiple. I got both cartenas in there.
Well,
I
I
got two
listed a
antennas.
choice. I did. I'm going to tell you straight up. I mentioned
You know.
use a cartena. Take one or the other.
I should have
Because
mentioned
then you
that.
don't need a
I've
tuner.
got 3 and change antennas because I give you the ability, the tools, and the knowledge to build your own, and the supplies. And then
Well,
the rest is
car- a
Okay,
cartena.
okay. Wait a second. I thought we were talking about store-bought stuff.
It
gotta
is
buy it
store-bought.
new.
Yeah,
It is.
You got to buy.
At the
What is
store.
this making antennas? They just don't
You
make.
can't buy wire at a store. Where do you get your wire from?
Well, the cartena is a kit, right?
It's-
Your cartena is a kit. You got to
He's
make.
talking otherwise because Tio said something about making antennas.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
you still have to buy the stuff from the
I
store.
didn't put a cutting
Jim.
board in my shopping cart. You know, I'm not having you get a cutting board and a sawzall. I do
I
it
actually
online
wanted
somewhere.
I actually went a different way on an antenna that we don't offer right now, but we are going to in the near future. How's that go? So mine did not have
Liberty's got it.
a cartena that we actually sell yet.
That's awesome, Liberty.
So Chuck is using a development antenna.
Well, it's not.
It's a
nothing.
Moxon.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, damn it! Come on, Tio. You've given up 2 things. for me
Lionel
now.
said it. Lionel said it.
Oh, did he? No, it's not a Moxon. I actually went with an antenna that's probably got more gain than a Moxon.
And there won't be time after the show for Chuck to go edit that because right now he's thinking, "Ooh, I could have put the Moxon in there."
I'm editing my video right now as we
My
talk.
firefighter helmet.
So
I forgot to add some stuff in.
we talked with about scanners with Tom,
Yep.
Tom the dilettante, and that drew the attention of us of a scanner guy, like a scanner expert type dude, and so I'm trying to get him on the show. So we'll have an upcoming all scanner,
The scanner show.
yeah, which should be pretty cool.
What are his credentials?
He has a online scanning
Right, Don.
university. So like if you buy a certain type of scanner, he'll work with
cool.
you and do classes
So
To
he
show you
made
how
his
to
own
u-
credentials. Nice.
to use that. He's got a
I was gonna
podcast.
say that.
He's got it looked like about 250 videos on YouTube. I'd never heard of this guy before.
I'm kind of with Don. Scanners
4+
cost too
antennas.
much. I can put an app on my phone and get it.
No, you can't.
No, you can't.
You cannot.
Yes, you can.
You sound like my old lady. You
You
cannot.
can. You
Nope.
can.
Okay,
You can't scan
explain to me how.
P25. Not happening on your phone.
I can get our trunking 900 trunking. Isn't that the same thing?
You can get some channels that somebody chooses to share over the internet.
Yes.
You can't scan.
That's
you
not
can't scan.
really scanning. That's right.
Right. That's like calling FT8 AM radio.
Whatever.
Right?
I lived.
If it
that
ain't
scanner
Spark Gap,
crap
it ain't
for-
AM radio.
I
Sorry,
lived that for
Smokin' Ape has been
35 years.
canceled.
I'm done with it. I think we
The
should do
scanners
our
are
next one
expensive for a good one.
Yeah.
for what you get. I mean, I think we should do $1,000 antenna build. or
We can.
video.
Russ, you are
I
correct.
will
I might
watch-
have
I
heard
will
drug
watch your-
deals before back in the day.
Because
We had a neighbor that was selling.
Stepper IR, some one of those things. I don't think you can get one of those for $1,000, but I wouldn't. There's a lot better stuff you can buy that's more reliable. Nothing wrong with them. I'm just the thing that gets me with that antenna is the reliability of those little motors and things
Thanks,
moving
N4 VKF.
inside out of tubes. You know,
I think it's going to depend on where you are too, right? Like where you can use that. Because if you're in a place that has like stuff like trees and dust and dirt and all that to get in there, I could see that getting gummed up pretty quick.
And N4 VKF is going to get 15 minutes ahead in the show. He's going to be like, Thanks for what? What did I do?
did he just join in for
Yeah.
VKF?
Yes.
Late on that one, Sparky.
You're a little late on that one, dude. Sorry.
There you go. Don
for
was
the next
creeping
one.
on the real estate lady.
I've seen that movie.
I don't understand why they would do that stuff. Like the last thing I would do, if I was a chick, is some guy call up and be like, "Hey man, I'd like to meet up with you at this abandoned house that nobody's at and take a look around." If you know what I mean.
If you know what I
Like,
mean.
I would never even think
when the
about it.
county
Well, here's
when the
the
county
thing.
went to Trunk Radios, which is like 25 years ago, they were on VHF and then they switched over to Trunked, and it was like a EF Johnson system, I think, and it was not encrypted or anything else. And it also had I don't remember what they called it, but you could call radio to radio on that system. So if I knew Chuck's radio number, I could literally dial it in my radio, and Chuck and I would have a private call
Private. Yes.
on the radio, except it wasn't encrypted. If you had the scanner that could track it, you could
Kinda
hear
like
it.
It's kind of like the private mode on family radios.
Yes.
You just don't hear
And-
them; they hear you.
Right. And the deputies thought for the longest time that meant no one could hear them since it said private call. They would talk all sorts of stuff.
Talking mess.
I mean, actually, official work stuff occasionally, but a lot of crap.
Josh was saying his stepper's been pretty reliable for him, but he's in SoCal.
Yep.
Yeah,
They
see,
don't
to me,
wait.
like that seems like a good environment for
That's
something like
well.
that.
That's the other thing.
It's
in
a one-weather
California,
antenna instead of an all-weather antenna.
yeah.
Right.
Actually, in California, you probably get by with a lot of antennas that you don't get by other places.
Yeah.
You know, Arizona probably another place.
Because of the climate?
Yeah,
The
we don't
lack
get
of freezing weather.
freezing weather for steppers. I don't know how they work. They're made up in Washington, I think, that's pretty cold up there. So I'm not
They can
saying they're
send one to
bad.
me,
They're not
I'll
a good
test it.
antenna. It's a cool idea. There's another company in Europe that makes one similar, I think. Actually, they might have been the first ones to make them.
Doesn't it get cold where you are? You're in Northern California, right?
Yeah, it gets down to like 30 here sometimes.
Oh my Lord.
You know what? Lately, some winters here. I mean, if it gets below 50, the last
Mother
couple of years
Nature.
is
Well,
cold.
see, I don't know about you. Like Josh is
Always
nuts. He got up on the roof of his house. He goes up there all the time.
Oh yeah.
I am not getting on the roof.
Depends on the roof.
I don't
Yeah,
care.
my
what
roof's
kind of roof
pretty
it is.
easy.
Like
It's
I
only got
won't
a
get on
slope
flat. I
like
won't
this.
get on flat roof. You get too close to that edge, accidentally not paying attention. You know, phone goes off. Boop, then you're on the ground. It's just not
been-
for me.
I was on a roof one putting a fire out and almost fell off because it was wintertime. People were running their fireplace, right? There was a fireplace is what we were putting out the chimney, and it got wet. There was moss up there, and it's like you throw your fingernails or whatever you can into anything you can to grab it.
Larry, be careful. At your age, you could bust a hip, son. No. Mm-mm.
Larry's getting up on the roof.
Larry's getting up on the roof. I'm like, no. I don't mind getting on the roof. And my wife thinks every time I get on a ladder, I'm about to die. She's in there checking the insurance policy to see if it covers dumb
Right.
old
I don't
man
even like
falling
getting on
off
the step ladder to change the light bulb. You know what I mean? Like I bought this stick that's got like this bird claw. I can just go up there and hook it onto the light bulb, twist it, and get it out.
I mean, like Chuck, I spend a lot of time on ladders in the fire department and on a lot of roofs, so I ain't worried about the heights. It's just,
It's the
it's the getting
slippery
down part. Yeah, slippery part. One
I
time, and
did
I'm
it.
thinking, I'm going to lay here and she's going to laugh at me, call 911, and then start figuring out how she's going to spend the insurance money.
When I was in high school, I was up at my uncle's house. He lives up in Bernie, it does get cold up there. It's north of us, north of Reading. And we're out fixing something on his roof, and I hit a piece of ice, and I start sliding off a metal roof. As my feet are going to the edge, my uncle grabs my arm and holds me from going over the side. And it was a 2-story house. It wasn't like, I was young. I might have made it. Might not have broke too many things, but
You end up in one of those full body casts like you see in the movies.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where you're just,
but you talk about,
Frankenstein.
that was not fun. That wouldn't have been fun.
Yeah, but
And
see,
the
like
ground's
Josh, he's
not
going up there tomorrow.
soft.
All there with a camera and his goofy sunglasses that he wears, and he's got all those wires.
The camera part, see, I don't mind going on the roof. I'm not going to ever be on my roof filming anything.
I'm not
Because
brave
maybe-
enough.
Maybe
My
set
dumb
the
ass will
camera
back
up and
right
have
off
it
the
film
edge
you.
with the camera. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, somebody
I
film
can-
you from the
I'm
ground.
selfieing, and I back straight off the roof, and y'all get to see me go over
You
the
know, and-
side.
He hasn't had that antenna.
Hey, Walt.
a year or two. So, I mean, my old antenna on my tri-bander was probably built in the 70s, and I put it up without even doing much rebuilding. I put a couple brackets on it, and I'd like to see. I like to see all the little motors last that long. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. It's a pretty cool idea, though.
The lack of traction will put you in traction. Hollywood nailed that one. Mm-hmm. So Plasma said, there's some drama in the chat here that I want to address. Plasma said listening to someone's phone conversations with the scanner is illegal under federal law. No, it is not. It is absolutely not. It is
I'm not a
illegal for
lawyer,
you
so
to
I don't know.
divulge. Well, it's the Electronic Communications Privacy Act of 1986.
Mm-hmm.
It's illegal for you to divulge what you hear to
you
anyone. It is not illegal for you to listen to anything. It's illegal for you to share it with your
It's
friends.
actually protected. That
So
you
feel
are
free to be
allowed
creepy,
listen
folks.
to things.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well,
be
yeah,
creepy.
because we got a whole bunch
Jim.
of people that said we used to listen to phone calls, and I sure did. And before they digitized cells back in the early 90s, Radio Shack scanner, snip one diode, and you have the cell bands. And ain't nobody that bought a Pro 2006 didn't snip that diode. So, no, it's not illegal to listen. It's illegal to divulge them. ECPA
Yeah, but they're diode
1986.
snipping. What's the same thing with like POXAG and all that other stuff?
Yes,
too, right?
exactly. It's exactly the same thing. Mm-hmm. It falls under E ECPA 1986.
Well, there was a thing about these guys who were using the SDRs to listen to sensitive air traffic or something like that, and they were replaying some of it on the internet, and everybody got all worked up about it.
Yeah, well, I told you guys before, we had a local housefrau whose husband was in the fire department, and apparently she had the good radio, and he had the UHF one. And she was posting play-by-plays on Facebook every time 5-0 was out on a manhunt or something. They got miffed. It's not like she got in trouble with the law. They just changed what they were doing.
Well, you're allowed to. I don't know what the rules are, so don't quote me. But I've heard that if you're a ham operator, you can have a scanner in your car while you're driving around. But otherwise, it's illegal to have scanners in the vehicle. But then other states are like it's illegal to use one while committing a crime, but it's illegal to commit a crime. So I don't necessarily know.
You cannot use a scanner while robbing a bank. That is totally illegal. I'm just saying. Yeah, and that's a state thing, that very state to state. In Alabama, you can have a scan. There's no, now you could get nailed on distracted driving or something, and that's probably very state to state too. I think there are some exceptions for amateur radio in your car doesn't count as a cell phone or something, so you can fiddle with the radio. I don't know.
There's something. Some states have something with like the handheld mic or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I take it nobody put a scanner in their ham shack, huh?
No, my radio does scan.
Well,
Yeah,
It scans
some
VHF
things.
and UHF.
Glenn, I don't consider a scanner a shack essential, but I had a scanner long before I had a shack, so I don't know.
So we were only doing shack essentials.
You do whatever you want to put in the budget.
You got your $1,000 to burn your cash, however you
I
want to
did
burn
look
it.
It's
at
your money, player.
I did look at some of those cheaper radios that TO and guys have been doing reviews and stuff
Russ,
on.
I had 2 of them.
I wanted something that I have to say the 2 radios I did pick I think are reliable at least, and you're not going to have to do a bunch of firmware. I mean, you might have to do firmware updates eventually, but
Well, like those what is the UBitX or whatever?
Alan,
it's so long ago.
they had to block
Not the
them, but
UBitX, these things.
it's like the
USDX.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Mars
yeah.
block.
I
Same
thought
thing.
about that one because one of those Adam had one at the Grand Canyon. It was actually fairly. The receive on it was pretty good. I
In the
forget which one it was.
at the Grand Canyon.
Well, it was. We were comparing it to his 7300, my A57, and we had. I think we had another radio there too, and it was pretty comparable. I mean, the whole overall radio was not as good as any of those other ones, but probably. I don't know. I just listened to it for a few minutes, and T.O.'s been messing with it way more. I'm sure he's got more on it.
Which radio is this?
Oh, Josh is here.
The
Hey,
you
Josh.
bit the you
You've been
whichever
posting
one he
Josh's
just showed.
comments for 20 minutes. Where you been?
USDX,
Oh,
True SDX.
I don't know. I just didn't notice him. Well, hey, Josh. 20 minutes ago, hey. Jim in the past says, hey, man.
Jim in the
fast
past.
forward to this part of the stream.
So Josh, you have the SDS 200. I've got the I got the 100, but I would love to get that 200.
What is
It's on
that?
my
Oh,
to-do
that's the
list.
disco antenna?
I've got the 996 P2 for the base scanner, which does all the deeds.
Yes, 200. Go look that up.
I've got the 100 for mobile.
Yeah, I was looking at Comet makes a couple of different discones. You'd actually be surprised that how difficult it is to find discone antennas. It's a pretty tight market.
Is it?
Scanner Master.
Yeah.
If you go to
Wow,
one of the
that camera's-
scanner sites, yeah.
That's a pretty fancy looking scanner that Josh has. Wow.
It's a really nice one. Yeah.
They say it's the best scanner is the SDS 100 and 200.
I just listened to so much police and fire for over the last 35 years. I don't really listen to it anymore.
See, I listen to all kind. I listen to Police and Fire, which I think is awesome, but I also listen to other stuff with it. You know, like the handheld scanners are super popular with the foamers.
I mean that looks like a
foamers.
$600-700 radio.
What is
Real
a foamer?
fans.
I'm apparently too
Railroad
old.
enthusiasts.
Like the
Okay.
people who
Oh
look at
yeah,
trains.
that'd be cool. That'd be
And,
cool.
and I get a lot of questions on like Baofeng videos and stuff like that, where people are like, "Hi,
scan
I'm a
it."
foamer, and I want to listen to the."
The foamer.
Type it in.
But
Well, I'm just surprised you knew what they were talking about. I wouldn't have had a clue until you told us.
what?
I've never heard
What
the
a
word
foamer
foamer.
was.
I know there's I thought they were train spotters.
No, train spotting's entirely different, Jim.
Okay.
I don't even know what that means.
Those crazy kids and their things.
They
used
made
to
a
have a-
movie about it in the 90s.
But see,
Everybody
like,
took
the
pictures.
foamers are like here's what I don't get. They like dress up like the old conductors, right? Like the guys who were on the train. They get that like striped hat, put it on, and
I don't know if I still have it, but I had an Amtrak conductor hat.
the
Not
So
saying
like
I'm a foamer, but I'm a
cosplayers with
foamer.
scanners.
yes, exactly. Right. It's
Yep.
like it's
That
LARPers.
says somebody who's not going to know the love of a woman without his credit card. That's what
like
that says.
train
Oh, you'd
train
be
larpers.
surprised who can get married.
Hey, Dennis.
I mean, you did it
Brad.
twice, Jim.
Yeah, but I never. Oh, shut up.
My neighbor is a hardcore foamer. Like he's got the whole outfit. Like he even has the red handkerchief.
Oh
he
my
tucks in his back
God.
pocket.
Oh my lord.
Pat gets it.
Yeah, I
Said
don't
his
get it.
sister's a train engineer at Disneyland, so farmers are real.
Yeah.
Good grief.
That'd be a cool job.
Oh, it's the nerd is here.
Yeah, I think it'd be
Nerds,
awesome
yeah.
to drive a train at
What's
Disneyland.
up, Dennis?
I'd love to do
Oh,
that.
yeah. People
Adam
watch,
Dennis
you know?
rolled up in here. I mean, we've been on the show for an hour and a half there, dude. Where you been? Just saying.
Here we go. Baofeng works well for listening to railroad communications. Also scanning the maritime stuff, and that can be cool when you're near the water.
Yeah.
I don't know, scanners.
Yeah.
I think scanners are pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I still get alerts on my phone from the fire department. I've never taken
They
it off.
finally cut mine off. I never told them to cut it off. They finally cut ours off after like a year and a half. I've been out year and a half.
I think I have to turn mine off. It's just a phone app, and every time it goes off, my heart just goes gunk, you know, because it's like, oh no, I don't do that anymore.
Well, for folks who are just
changed.
joining, this is the $1,000
it's a lifestyle
Ham Shack.
change. It really is.
It's a $1,000 Ham Shack challenge announcement video, I guess. Today at noon Central, each one of us were dropping a video that shows a $1,000 Ham Shack that we put together. We encourage everybody to play along, either in the comments here or over on Toad's Discord. We'll create a subgroup for the $1,000 Ham Shack challenge, and we'll create a video playlist for anybody who makes a video, so that way they're just, folks can watch all of them.
Didn't Josh do one already too? Also, something like that. He should drop his too.
Did he? I don't know.
I think Josh has done a million videos, so I'm sure he's done it once, if not twice.
Okay, hold on 1 second. We have to put Jim on the soapbox here.
Oh
Go,
boy,
Jim.
here we go.
I don't know. I haven't looked that up. I'm not sitting here Googling.
18
I'm telling you what the
USC
ECPA says.
551.
Whew, I can't even read that. Dave, the city of Pinole, where I live.
Which is not, it's not scanning is the argument that I would put onto that.
I think that's wiretap as opposed to anything else. But ECPA is Privacy
Intentionally.
Act. Yeah.
This says
Intentionally
that-
versus
put-
accidentally.
Hold on a second. This says intercept or endeavor to intercept any wire, oral, or electronic communication is illegal.
I don't think it has it in caps like that in 18 USC 2551.
No, but see, it says intentionally. So scanning is not intentional because I'm looking for signals. I'm not looking for your signal. So yeah, you have the right to privacy, but I have the right to listen.
18 USC 2251 is the sexual exploitation of children.
2551, Jim. Not
Creep.
2251.
25.
I don't know what's in your search history.
There you go. Walt saying that all his setups are $1,000. He's over there in Poland. I hope
that's
you're
true.
getting some Polish vodka. I don't know what else they got over there, but I hope you're getting some of that anyway.
Ooh, potato vodka.
Josh said he did his years ago. He
Is it
actually
all
might have
vodka,
got a
potato
base
vodka?
radio.
No, they make vodka out of wheat too.
They make vodka out of grapes now, and I saw horseradish vodka. Hey, Andy, thanks.
Was that
Thanks,
vodka
Andy.
or flavored vodka?
No, that was
Andy.
vodka.
Dance nerds. Come on,
Jim,
Jim.
are you going to hit it? Don't you got some music over there?
Oh, Lord.
Jim's too busy arguing.
Hey, I was ignoring.
That doesn't happen.
Because if you ignore him, he won't. Don't
we have
make eye
music playing?
contact.
You didn't hear it go? Bump, bump, bump.
It's
It's a polka, I think.
I can't dance to this.
That's some. I don't know what that is. Thank
man,
you,
sorry.
Andy.
Sorry, Andy.
Sorry that the dancing was so bad today. I don't know. This is dance.
T.O. can dance anything. I've actually seen T.O. ride a three-wheeled bike that looked like it was for a five-year-old.
It was. And I was having trouble with that.
Yeah, well, you almost knocked yourself out with your knees.
So I guess Walt's getting tuned up on Bulgarian red wine.
Way to go, Walt.
What kind of food they got over there in Poland? Is that where they eat like the pierogies?
Polish
Is that
food.
what-
Pierogies.
Oh, yeah, pierogies awesome.
Yeah.
We can make anything out of potatoes.
We're going to drink. We're going to drink potatoes. We're going to eat potatoes.
Pan fried potatoes, boiled potatoes. Days about
Steamed
a million ways
potatoes.
You can eat potatoes.
Everybody's
Potatoes au
piling on
gratin.
Jim. I am fine with that. So if anybody else wants to call Jim out for being incorrect, please post it.
He posted the wrong number. Because I'm sitting here and it's like, no, it keeps coming up. Sexual exploitation of children.
Well, I got to tell you that
Your search history.
Plasma Storm is one of the best Googlers that I know. So I would
No,
expect.
Jim did not write that music. He wronged it.
Exactly.
I'm gonna have to go get me some French fried taters. Well, what else we gotta do here today?
Stir
doing
up some more
defenses
trouble with
today.
Plasma Storm. It's always on my agenda.
Here we go. Cell phones haven't been in the 800 megahertz range for years now.
No, it's
Right.
public safety stuff now, I think.
It's all public. 800's all public safety. Cell phones got rebanded.
I think we went to 900.
I think there's
I
some
like how-
commercial. there's
I like how the
commercial data.
lawmakers make laws that say you can't interfere with the lawmakers making laws.
This is really vague, and he's not completely wrong, but he's also not completely right. And
Jim took he took legal classes at night.
no,
school
I read
for-
English. I just read English. That's
Well,
all.
The law isn't written in English. Well,
No,
somebody a little
it's not
testy
written in
over there.
English.
Pants fitting a
Not
little
at all.
tight.
Pants?
No.
Who's wearing pants? What? Were we supposed to wear pants today?
But this whole thing is so
let me
broad
get
that
up and
you
go get my pants on.
listening to ham radio is illegal too. So, and there was a lot of stuff they did, and Yaesu still does this. And Radio Shack did it back in the
here we go.
'90s with those
Here
scanners.
we go.
I'm just telling you what they did.
Here
They
we go.
blocked it, so you couldn't hear the cell bands when you bought the radio,
Correct.
the Pro 2006. But if you were on a BBS anywhere in the world and you hunted around,
Nerd
you
alert.
could find what diode to cut. Yes, I'm a nerd. You could find out what diode to cut, and it opened up the cell bands, and it even changed the frequency spacing to 30 megahertz between channels from the default of 25 or whatever it was on a Pro 2006.
I'm getting pretty good at knocking those things off of radios.
And on Yaesu, and on Yaesu today, the FT70, the FT3, the FT5, probably other ones, there's a rubber cover over a specific hole in the back of the radio. You pop that rubber
for
cover off
educational purposes.
for educational purposes, and if you knock out the component you see,
If you pop the rubber off, it's going to be education.
if you pop off the rubber, you're going to have a
Exactly.
surprise. I'm
it's
just
going to be
saying.
expensive.
The G90's
So-
got like a big arrow pointing right at the
Yeah.
diode
Does it?
that you're supposed
Yeah.
to clip.
Oh,
I will
really?
find out soon.
And wasn't
You-
that
you-
part of the drama with the fangs? A couple years ago when everybody said, "Oh, the fangs are banned. We can't get them on Amazon. We all got to buy fangs now because
They still
they're
sell
not." Yeah, they still. Well, Amazon never stopped, as far as I could tell. But that was because they're open transmit, which is like 90% of those Chinese radios have no blocks in them at all.
I think the
Well,
last one I
Chirp
got
now
is
will-
blocked. Last
Yeah, Chirp
Bofang
will
I
lock
got.
your Baofeng now. So a lot of people are
Okay.
like, I need to get me an old version of Chirp.
Well, hell, they put out 900 versions of Chirp. I probably
Right.
got an old version. Popping.
Uniden
That's right,
scanner
Josh.
doesn't
That's
have-
good.
So you just made it into a
HDMI.
Baofeng, popping that off there, right?
Oh, Lon. Thank you, Lon.
Lawn.
Lawn.
See, this is where I can't read it, where it's got all these parentheses and numbers and stuff like that in there.
Makes it hard, yeah.
Well, that's what I was saying. The context of the whole thing is, it just depends on what you're doing. What it boils down to, you can listen to whatever you want because no one knows what you're listening to but you, right? Now, if you start sharing it, that's when things get stupid. Back in the VHS days,
Stupid.
you would not. We all know we all copied VHS tapes, and every one of y'all's old enough to know. Chuck probably copied beta tapes, but
I don't even know what that is.
I made my girlfriend mixtapes over.
Oh, was
songs I
Beta
heard
the
from
one
radio.
that was going to replace everything that never did?
yeah, that was
Yeah.
Sony's, which was actually
Yeah.
technically a better format, but nobody
And
bought
same
it.
thing with the video disc. Remember those?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, I own
Great.
quite a collection of. Oh no, not those. What was the one with Blu-ray? HD DVD. I have an HD DVD collection up here that doesn't play on anything in the entire world. I have to buy
My,
the 300.
my buddy
again.
used to
But
go
you
to
have a license to
Blockbuster,
that content.
and he would rent movies, and then he had a tripod with a video camera on it pointed at the TV.
making screeners.
Yep, all white trash, and then he would go around selling them.
Well, what I was going to say is we all made copies, right? Hey, I got a copy of the Green Berets. You want it? Yeah, man. And it's illegal, but no one cared. It's when you started selling them and they busted you selling them outside the Publix in Jacksonville that it got to be a thing.
I watched the Gran Torino that way one time. Some guy recorded it somehow
In the movie
in
theater.
the movie theater.
Right.
Yeah, my buddy had it. He goes, "We're up camping, fishing. He goes, I got this movie. It's not even out yet, guys."
Oh, Dennis, I'm with you, brother. I did not fall into the beta trap, but I have quite an extensive HD DVD.
What about
collection.
those iOmega zip drives? Remember those?
Oh,
yeah.
God.
They
I
kick 'em
had those
back.
flaming
I had-
pieces of turd.
It
Yeah.
must have been computer stuff. I don't know what
Click
you're
of
talking about.
death. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have one of those going in my ham shack, my $1,000 ham shack.
There's one of those at my old club shack.
Yeah. You know, it's the thing is about, and I'm not a lawyer, and this is not legal advice, and I know everything about the law from watching Law and Order, so take this with a large grain of salt. They can write there's laws that I guarantee you everyone. How many y'all speed every day? Okay,
Not me.
There's 4,000 federal level crimes on the books today.
and I guarantee you broke one at least in the last month.
They
I know
tell
I
you
have.
where you can put your ice cream cone, how you can have sex, not who you can have sex with, but how you can have sex.
In Alabama, they tell you who. So
Well, I
the
can't-
listening
oh,
laws are
but-
just stupid because there's no way to enforce any of that. It's when you start divulging stuff that it goes sideways.
Well, what if
That's what
you
they should do.
listen?
They
If
should
you
make
stand
it-
too close to somebody talking to their friend and you listen to what they're saying?
That's illegal, according to that.
According to Plasma Storm, that's illegal.
According to, depending on how you read USC, whatever that number was, that's not the child abuse one.
It did say oral communication, so I just can't be in
Right.
the same restaurant as you.
Right.
I can't hear anything in restaurants anyway.
Maintain 35 feet of distance.
I've got that
Right.
problem where the background noise sounds the same as the regular noise. You know what I mean? Like if I go into a restaurant, like I hear all the forks and knives hitting plates and stuff like that.
That's from listening to music too loud when you're young.
I'm sure.
hasn't-
And,
I don't-
and they say that you can fix that. They have a hearing aid that's got a low, I guess it's got a low pass filter
Low
that you
pass.
can
That's
that you
what
can,
you call
that you
it.
can adjust. But,
I wish I'd finished my pass
See you later,
filter
Vern.
before
Thank
I
you.
went
Vern,
to Grand
thank
Canyon.
you for coming by.
It might have been good. I gotta finish that actually. I got all
Liberty
the parts
Cave,
now.
when I bought my Commodore 64, I had the cassette tape with it.
The data set.
Yeah, I did too.
Oh
It was,
my God, it took so long.
It was
Let's
fast.
play Monopoly on the computer. Okay, but it's going to be like 30 minutes to load it.
That's okay. I think me and Susie will find something to do in 30 minutes.
Right.
And I had
Well,
the what
with
was it
25
called?
minutes to spare.
Did you have the modem?
What? Yes.
What is it called? Audio couple. What was the name of that modem? I forget.
Oh,
Oh,
the
acoustic
acoustic. I did
coupler.
not have an
Yeah,
acoustic coupled one. No.
No.
Yeah, a
I've
300
seen
baud
them in
acoustic.
museums.
Yeah, we had
remember-
one at the Air Force. When I got to Gunter in '85, they had one in one of the offices. They had a data transmission they did with an acoustic coupled modem here, and when I was stationed at Luke, there was a data transmission we got from General
Right, Liberty?
Dynamics every night that came over an acoustic coupled setup. So I've used them. I never had one.
I got. Remember Boca? Was it Boca Research or Boca?
Best option cards available. Yeah, Boca.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Boca
had
something.
yeah. It wasn't Boca Raton. That's where everybody goes to retire, right?
That's
It was
where old people go to retire. Boca Research, I think that's
Boca
right.
Research,
Boca
yeah,
Labs.
Boca Research. Boca Research.
But I got a 14.4 baud modem, and I thought that I was hot as shit with that. I remember because all my friends had like 96 or. I'm like, yeah, I decided to step it up and get to 14. I don't, so I could
I could
surf
just, I could
the
just hear a
text-based
young ape.
internet. Right. Well, I remember I'd be like, now I got the 486 with the SX processor. I didn't go with the DX2 because I'm not going to use the math floating point variable calculation. So I thought I'd be okay there. And I took the extra money and I put it into my Boca.
A real nerd would have said, "I'm not going to use the arithmetic code processing function when I use the bogus copy of Photoshop I got from my buddy Hal."
Right.
Dude, I used to do FidoNet BBS back in the day in the 80s when I was married to she who cannot be named.
Well, you were
And-
on alt.black helicopters, right?
Maybe I
Dot
wasn't.
Black dot something else.
Don't worry about it. Ain't none ya. Yeah, and I was the Echo Link coordinator for our area, whatever it was. And so I was getting the mail every night, and I had to go out and buy a 9600 baud modem. That was like in 86 or 87. I'm like, oh my God. Woo! Going from 24 to 96 was some thing.
Right.
Do they still do fax? Is that still a thing?
It
Oh,
is
yeah.
a thing.
Yeah,
There's
it still
certain
is a
companies that will only deal in fax, like
Oh,
the
wow.
government. It's crazy.
Yep.
No, fax, FAX.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
I
No,
always
no,
practice
FX.
safe facts.
Like I was doing something, and they're like, "Well,
Just the
we
fax,
we
Chuck.
need you to sign and fax this." I was like, "Can I sign it and take a picture and hit you on WhatsApp or
A
something?"
picture. A picture.
And they were like, "No, it needs to be faxed." I'm like, I don't
Shooter
even know.
ready. You are correct, and it's similar to that in ham on certain forums. Log into a
Three-letter
BBS, can
initials.
ask a questions and get 100 RTFM answers. That's right. And if you don't know what RTFM stands for, it means read the fine manual.
See, I don't, I don't think that you need to tell people to RTFM, but at the same time, there is some stuff that people like. I don't necessarily know if I get that going and asking on a form is easier than reading the manual.
Lord, no, because there's a lot of drama with it,
Well, and then
And
you're getting
depending on the
somebody's
forum-
crazy opinion too.
right?
Some
I
people
mean,
can't read the manuals, though. Some
you
of the
know-
manuals are unreadable.
I get asked all sorts of random questions at work, and
Insecure.
my boss, bless his heart, he comes up with stuff. I need to know how to do this. Did you Google it? He doesn't. It's like he comes and asks me, and I sit there in front of him. I said, and I actually say to him now, "Let me Google that for you," and he still hasn't grasped.
That there's
sarcasm.
There's a Google machine out there.
He's
that-
thinking that's money well spent.
I'm fine with it. The check I get works for me. So, if that knucklehead wants me to Google stuff, I'll Google stuff. I mean, Bob, I'm kidding.
wonderful human being.
You're a great human being. Learn to Google. But I mean, yeah, and I'm with you. That's exactly right. I would not ask a question in a forum until I hit my own personal wall. I will try to solve, but that's my mindset too.
But
I want to solve the problem before I go asking people.
It's different if you're saying, "Hey, I have this antenna, and I'd like to ask some questions about this antenna," right? To understand how it works. But when somebody says, and I'm not trying to shame anybody, but if somebody says, "Hey, is 3-to-1 a good or a bad SWR?" That's probably something you should learn about, right? That's probably something you should figure out.
Now, I will take that one step farther. Not for for Discord, it's totally different than it is for an online forum. So like in Discord, it's a bunch of us. We're all just shooting the breeze all day long.
Right.
Hey, I got this thing dialed in at 3-to-1, and the answer would be, yeah, sure, your internal tuner will handle that, no problem.
Yeah.
Like that's just quick part of the conversation. That's okay. That's part of the camaraderie. But
Or it's like, "Hey, it's a 3-to-1. How do I tune this down?" Right? Like, what are my options with there?
Retirement check.
I did that a lot early on with Gary here in the group that we were in. When I learned how to tune antennas, I always get it mixed up. Which, if it was long, where it would be in the band, and if it was short, where it would be in the band.
Bro, I still never remember that. I have to Google that right before I do it because I could never remember.
I just have to think that 7 per cycle is longer than 14 per cycle.
It took me a while building antennas and that is why. Well, I mean, I know you like the VNA, and that will do it also. But that's what I do like about the Rig Expert is
It's a
you
better,
push that
it's a
thing, and I
professional
know
piece of gear.
I know exactly where my antenna.
Yeah,
has to go.
I guess what I'm talking about is the questions where people are like, "How do I get CB on my Fang?"
desk. Where's your rig
Yeah.
expert?
Right.
Like,
Where's
how
your
do I
rig
get?
expert, Chuck?
Well, and even
where's your
one
rig
that we
expert?
see, and guys,
Who knows
understand
where
if you
it's
feel the need to ask a question in
See?
Toads, you ask a question in Toads because we'll answer you and not give you too much grief about it. But I've seen multiple times people asking questions like, "Can I scan with a Fang?"
Or how do I get
Dude.
police? How do I get the
Scan
police
what?
with the Fang?
Yeah. They want to use a Fang as a scanner. I'm like, well, you can scan with it if you like watching paint dry.
I was talking to this guy, and he was like asking how he could get CB on his Valfang, and I was explaining, "Hey, it's for UHF, VHF, which are frequencies in this band, and you really need something in 11 megahertz or 11 meters." And so I was going through it, and the guy just loses his stuff, and he's like, "You mean to tell me I bought a piece of junk? Are you trying to say that I bought a piece of junk?" And I'm like,
I
I'm
can
not-
smell
like,
the
I'm not
butter.
trying to.
Bought-
I'm
you
not
bought the
trying
wrong
to say
piece of
anything
junk.
other than
You
you
bought
ain't
a
getting
hammer
the
when
CB.
you
wrong
wanted
piece
a
of junk.
screwdriver.
Yeah.
Plasma, there's a special rule when new Toads join that they have to make fun of you.
Yeah, well, that, I mean,
He can't see
Plasma-
that part though in the.
I think he gets a little bit of what he deserves there.
He dishes it out and he takes it too.
Plasma gets kind of sassy. He was sassy this morning. I'm like, easy there,
was.
cowboy.
He was telling you. I gotta find Don's.
So other than watching all these videos today, you guys got plans?
Why didn't
Oh,
we
yeah.
set that up where they went one after the other?
Why didn't we? Because we would have had to, well, we could have just
I
scheduled
mean,
that one.
I'm not a computer guy, but I could have figured that out.
You know what? We could reschedule them right now.
I'm at
But we don't know the
I'm-
length.
I'll go first.
I'll reschedule.
That's true. I'll go first. You guys,
Okay, so 86, that idea.
because I'm leaving
Requires
like in
effort.
4 minutes.
You got some
It's
yurt
okay.
time, right? You're going to
Team
go do
replay.
some.
You got to go do Yurt
Man,
Man.
our yurt
That is
on
Chuck's
hold
superhero
We're
again.
not
name.
premiering them. We're just dropping them, so you guys can
Yeah.
watch them however order
That's
you'd
right.
like.
That's
I know you're
true.
going to watch
That's
mine
true.
first because it's the best.
In the
We're going to
pooper.
watch mine twice because it's that good.
Because they're like, what did he say?
How
I
long
see.
are how long are your
You-
respective videos time wise?
13.
13 minutes.
I'm sub
Yeah,
15,
mine's
yeah.
right there. 13,
Let me look.
12.
I think it was
somewhere in
13.
there.
I don't have it up anymore. It's not easy to look at.
Well, when I was
Thanks,
making it, I was
13.
like, "Dang, this thing's going to be like 4 minutes long," and then it ended up being 13. So.
And then you found your groove. You started rolling because I thought the exact same thing. I'm like, buy that, we're done. Hey,
I had to add a second kit to get to 13.
Well,
I'm going to make a few more videos
Okay.
and just do different radios. $1,000 challenge.
CB is like the 4chan of HF. See, I don't know. I think that 7,200 and there's some places on
7,200
80
is pretty close. 80 meters any given night.
Yeah, that's what I tell people who are like, "Hey, I want to talk on ham radio, but I don't want to get a license." 7,200 is for you. Never hear a call sign over there.
Well, if you tune around on 80 meters at night, I've talked to Don, KK4QAM is the only 80 meter contact voice that I've ever made.
Nice.
But you listen to those guys and it's like they don't ever identify. I've listened to them for 30 or 40 minutes straight. Not one of them ever identified, ever.
See, I've had better luck on that. I used to get up at 1:30 in the morning and talk to guys. Well, Indianapolis, Ohio. One guy was in New York. One guy was up in British Columbia or someplace like that. And it was a good group of guys. The 80 meter band is so weird because certain times of the year it's super noisy and really hard to hear people. But I mean, 80 meters all the way across the country, coast to coast. It's kind of cool. 800 watts.
I got to tell you though. So, like on the 80 meters, they got the cataract net. They have the osteoporosis net. They have the
Don't forget the
the
They have those
dialysis
nets
net.
everywhere.
gout net.
I hear that on
Gout net is
Sunday.
very popular.
Come on.
Man, I got to get on the gout net. So, all right, I think that's going to wrap it up. Right,
It is.
we're right at time. Thanks everybody.
Yeah.
Totally appreciate it. Appreciate all the participation in the chat. And hopefully everybody likes the $1,000 Ham Shack Challenge videos and participates. That would be awesome.
Oh, and check out my fix on my 91 too if you guys haven't seen it yet.
Chuck
Yeah,
did not use the thumbnail we told him to use because it would have gotten more views. But
He was in
whatever.
protest mode. Oh, right, the thumbnail. All right, boys. All right, well, thank you. I'm hitting the end broadcast button. It was
Later,
fun,
everybody.
fun time today.
See you guys.